Hey guys, just want to do a recap of that Lakers game last night. I was too tired and too pissed off to do one last night. I didn't get home till close to 1 o'clock, so I figured nobody was really up anyway. But, God, if it was any other team, it would have hurt a lot less. But the equivalent to this is like losing to the Dallas Cowboys. I cannot stand the freaking Lakers. I hate them. Out of any franchise out of the whole NBA, I despise them. Not only because of what they did to us back in 2001. It's just, I don't know what it is about them. I just cannot stand them. Their fans are cockroaches. They're all a bunch of front runners. I actually almost got into a fight with a Laker fan last night, but that's besides the point. We shot 48% from the field. We really couldn't buy a shot last night. Had a lot of shots go in and out. It's just a killer. Why, in God's name, I don't know why the Sixers would close in on Lonzo Ball at the end of the game when you know he's not going to take the shot. He's looking to pass. He doesn't want that pressure. He didn't take barely any shots the whole game. He wasn't aggressive. He's soft. I'm so glad we didn't draft Lonzo Ball. We should have, guarded on the perimeter, which has been our weakness all season. We cannot guard around that damn perimeter, and it killed us. We left one of their best three-point shooters wide open, Brandon Ingram, and he nailed it, and it killed us. It was reminiscent of the Rockets game all over again. And that play that we drew up after that to get it to Rashawn Holmes to chuck up that garbage, I don't know what the hell that was. So there's a lot of people to blame for this. 18 turnovers. You can't win when you have 18 turnovers, for one. We shot 10 from 28 from the three-point line. So that wasn't too bad. Our foul shots were good, but I feel like we could have destroyed them in the paint. Ben and Embiid could have made a living down there last night. They had Randall on him. He could have ate him alive. Brook Lopez, who's like a slow, oafish ogre, he could have destroyed. Embiid did everything he could last night. There wasn't much that he didn't do. He had 31 points. Huge game. Or 33, 33 points. Ben Simmons got another triple-double. All right, Ben. Sorry, bro. You can just watch it later. You giving me the insight on the game because I missed it. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if you were being sarcastic or not. I don't know if you taped it, so sorry if I'm letting anything on. But it was killer. Brandon Ingram started off really hot in the beginning, and then they shut him down. But the whole team was just lackadaisical. So I'll give credit where it's due. The Lakers just straight outplayed us last night. Just straight up played us. There was no effort on the defensive end. They looked sluggish on the offensive end. There's a lot of ISO ball. Everybody was just standing around waiting for somebody to make a play. Ben Simmons getting a triple-double really doesn't matter if you lose. He was very passive, and the problem with them, passing the ball way too much. It was great that we had 29 assists, but a lot of the times it's passing, and somebody's got to take the shot. They're not aggressive. I hate when they penetrate. Again, I sound like a broken record, but when they penetrate, they decide to kick it out so they can pop the three. No, why don't you just take the easy points? We could have destroyed them in the paint last night. And second chance points really, really hurt us too. We couldn't get a rebound. The offense, it's just like they'll go down, pop a three, and nobody's under the net to get a rebound. It's just you can't have offensive sets like that. We're going to go down there, jack up shots, and not have any rebounds. The Lakers also had 13 steals on us last night. 13-3, which is absolutely pathetic. You can't win games when you have that many steals from a team, and Lonzo, the shot on Lonzo. But I will say, it was nice to see Rashawn Holmes get in there. I think he should be taking minutes away from Amir Johnson. You can see how effective he can be on the offensive end of the game. He's more athletic. He's a shot blocker. He can run. He's way better offensively. So he should be taking reps away from Amir. I don't even know what Brett's doing. And we've got to expand this roster. I don't know where Dario was last night. I guess he was hurt. I didn't hear anything about that. So losing him was huge too. And again, the bench points. They outscored us. We only had Rashawn Holmes who had scored 13 points off the bench. That's not going to get it done. They had over 40-some points off their bench. They had Randall and Jordan Clarkson killed us last night. You have to have bench production. You cannot ride your two offensive studs and expect to win the game all the time. It's just not going to happen. So losing to two awful subpar teams is we're not progressing, we're digressing, and it's starting to get me a little worried. We're not making adjustments. We're looking sluggish. We usually, in the beginning of the season, we came out firing. Had our great offensive sets, and then we'd start to lose it in the third quarter. Well, they did really chip away at that lead. We were down 17 at one point, and we did come back. So, I got to give credit to where it's due, to where they really shut it down, but it hurt us being so lackadaisical in the beginning of the game, where we couldn't really take a lead and win. They just had our number. They played great defense last night. You got to give credit to the Lakers. They just played better team ball, and that's what it's all about. Assists, defense, and they just executed way better. LeVar Ball was at the game, and all the fans were giving him hell, so I thought that was pretty funny. But for Lonzo to get that last assist, it's just that's poor defensive communication. You don't swarm to him. He's looking to pass first. He's not going to shoot. And if he does do a floater or does nail you on a shot and you lose that way, then fine, I'll take it. I'd rather lose that way than have what happened last night. Then he kicks it out, which we all knew it was going to happen, and then they kill us with the dagger 3 at the end, and then we can't even draw up a play with 0.8 seconds left. I'm surprised that's all they could draw up. We had Egghead out there. We had JJ. Even JoJo could have even taken the shot. I mean, it was just poor execution all around on the Sixers. On the team, Brett Brown, Ben Simmons had a lot of turnovers. A lot of careless turnovers. It's just, we got to get Sarge back. And Fultz, he's finally cleared. But we don't know when he's going to be back. The timetable is still up in the air. We have no clue what's happening with him. All I know is the soreness is gone out of his shoulder. It's when are we going to get him back on the team, because we need him desperately. Yes, we're only 24 games into the season, but we need to start gelling now. We were 13-9. We were at the 5th seed, so losing these 2 games to these terrible junk garbage teams from out west, we are now the 8th seed at 13-11. And from what I've seen, I don't know if the Sixers are just laying down and they expect to just roll on these teams. We're not that talented yet. We're not good enough to where we can take time off and catch up. We're not to that point yet, like the Golden State Warriors and, the Cleveland Cavaliers, teams of that upper echelon. We still need a couple more pieces, and we need our veterans to really, step up to help these young kids out. But it's the bench scoring, man. It's just, I cannot stress it enough. And there's just the lackadaisical, no heart, no hustle in the beginning 2.5 quarters was so frustrating. They were just standing around looking at the ball when they couldn't get a rebound. But give credit to the Lakers. They played a better game than us. They beat us. They deserved to win. And I hate to say that. And it really kills me to say that, because I really wanted to get this win. Just because we beat them out there in La La Land, and just to sweep the series with the whole drama, with Lonzo, LeVar, all that crap. And it's just, to my own selfish needs, I freaking hate the Lakers, and I just wanted to beat them. I will never let 0-1 go, ever. They were a better team. All we had was AI, but, that was a long time ago. And I'm hoping to write a new script. And all you guys that got to watch this battle back in the 80s, kudos to you. I'm jealous that you got to see all that when we had Chocolate Thunder, Dr. J and all that, when they were going up against Showtime. But, the Lakers are looking really good. And I took a lot of guff for saying I really wanted to take Brandon Ingram with the first pick. Still love Ben Simmons, but you can show how much he's really grown as a player. I didn't want to see it. Bro, it was bad. It was bad. I don't know if you do want to watch it. It was gut-wrenching. It was horrible. It killed me. We came back and made it such an interesting game. And to blow it within those final seconds, it was just like, it was all pointless at that point. And it's happened to us, though. Poor perimeter defense. We do not play a lick of defense. Brett Brown comes from the Spurs tree, from the Popovich tree, where, it's all about defense and spreading the ball around. And we've played good defense at times during the season, but over these last couple games, we've looked like shit. We've looked horrible. We're looking like the old Sixers that were 10-72. And stuff needs to change because we are digressing. We really, really, really need to figure some stuff out. Brett needs to get on these guys, get them motivated, get some heart, some hustle. We got to get this going. Do you think it starts with the coach and Of course it does. It always starts from the top. In any sense. That goes with businesses, anything. Teams, sports. Yeah, this is, Brian Colangelo and Brett Brown. For sure. I still stress it of Brian Colangelo not really trying to make any moves. We sat on Okafor and Noel too long for trying to get the most out of it, which we didn't. I think Hinkie would have handled this a lot better. But, who am I to say? That's why I'm not an NBA exec or anything like that. But this is the hand we are dealt, so we got to just deal with it. And we got what we could for Okafor. We sat on him too long, so we got something. But Trevor Booker isn't really going to really put us over the top. We need more guard play. We need Fultz to get back healthy. We need to get these top picks gelling together. We need a bench. We need Fultz and Sarge to come off the bench is what needs to happen. We need more firepower. When Ben and JoJo can only do so much. And, again, Ben with not being aggressive on the offensive end. Yeah, he had a monster game with his assists and his rebounds. I love that. But he could have taken it to the hole all game last night, and nobody would have stopped him. Lonzo Ball, Randall, he could have taken them all. He loves to have those little one-handed jump hooks, and he doesn't take jumpers. It's just always that one-handed hook jump. Or, the sky hook he'll do sometimes, or he'll do some type of floater. And a lot of times it doesn't go in. Dude, just take your jumpers. I've seen you in practice. I've seen you hit them. Bring it into real game time. Defenses are just going to know what to do against you and load the paint up, and they're going to dare you to shoot. And if you're not even going to do it, you're going to play right into their hands. So he really, really needs to start acclimating that into his game. Sad about Saints lost to the Falcons. Yeah, I was keeping track of that, too. I picked the Saints last night, so I didn't win that, so I was pretty salty about that. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I hate the Cowboys, so sorry, bro. I know that's who you're pulling for your squad. But, yeah, man, it's looking pretty bad. A little bit of dire straits. We're losing to the Phoenix Suns and the LA Lakers. And, it's the team laying down, not trying to hustle enough because they're not a great team. Like the Golden State Warriors, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Rockets. You got to beat up on these teams if you're going to make it into the playoffs. If you're going to be the best of the best in the East, you have to beat up on these teams. Now, the Lakers are improving. They've gotten better every year, and their lottery picks are playing better. They're playing better. And now they're 9-16, I believe. They're not really a doormat anymore, but they're progressing. They've looked good over the past week. I really need your Jags to beat the Seahawks. Yeah, you and me both, bro. I'm hoping Jacksonville, sticks it to the Seahawks, but we'll see. But a devastating loss last night. I want to see more aggression out of Ben. And Brett Brown needs to really get on these guys. The rotation. JJ has been very iffy. He's struggled a lot. Not only with his shooting, but turning the ball over. And defensively, I know he's going to try his best, but TJ was a little hurt last night. He didn't give us any point production. Neither did Amir Johnson. Rashawn Holmes is the only guy off the bench that really produced, giving us 13 points. And he looked like a beast out there. Just crazy to me. Yeah, it's just LeVar. He's a marketing genius. He is what he is. He ate that crap up last night with the fans getting all in his grill and screaming at him and giving him the finger. He was well protected up in a box, though. But he was looking down on everybody and, waving his fingers at them and eating all of the attention up, all the media. So that was funny. That was kind of entertaining. But the center was overflowed. It was overrun by Laker fans, by the cockroach Laker fans. I hate to see that. I hate when when the home team is outruled by the away team. But Lonzo got rained on with boos. Love to see that. He's real soft. He was so scared last night. He wasn't penetrating at all. He gave the ball up a lot. He sat on the ball a lot. He just looks lost half the time. But, he almost had a triple-double. I don't know what his assist numbers were. I'm not sure if he got a double-double or not last night. But don't matter. That last one's all that matters, and it killed us. Hit Ingram for the open three. He drew the defense. He penetrated, drew the defense over to the corner and kicked it out to Ingram for a wide open three, and he nailed it. See, if that was us in that situation, we would have bricked it. And TLC had 3 air balls last night. Can we stop giving this bum minutes? I'd rather have Korkmaz out there. Can we put him in? He can't be any worse. He really can't. At least he can hit the rim or even the backboard half the time. God, he sucks. I cannot stand when he gets in there. He is wasting minutes. He should be a DNP every game. I would have. Hey, we're starting this guy over Okafor. Like, come on, man. So Colangelo really needs to make some moves pronto. If this keeps up, we're not going to make the playoffs. Even though the East is weak, we keep losing to these freaking scrub-ass teams that are, 6, 7, 8 games under 500. It's not going to bode well for the city of Philadelphia. Hey, at least we have the Eagles to fall back on. Can you play guard? No, I can't play guard for the Sixers, unfortunately. I wish I could. But, and I know that really helps soften the blow having the Eagles be 10-2. But still early in the season, but I'm not. This is where you start to pick it up. This is where you want to start seeing the team win back to back to back, like we were. We were winning games. It was close. Maybe I just got spoiled with all them home wins. But we shouldn't lose to Phoenix and the LA Lakers at all. Are you guys worried at all? Do you guys feel like this is time to stress at all? People are calling for Brett Brown's head, and I got to disagree with that. You got to give Brett a chance. There's still going to be a learning curve. But he's still a good coach, I think. He's going to have his mistakes, yes. I'm not happy with what he did last night. We're one solid piece away from being a contender. Yeah, we are. We just need bench players. And we don't know what we're going to get out of Fultz yet. We just need more production out of it. Same thing with young Dallas Mavs. Teams have patience, people. Yeah, it's all about patience. He is a good coach. But people to, jump down his throat and say he needs to be fired, no. He's going to make mistakes just like our young players. It's a learning curve. I think a lot of pressure is going to be on him now because he has the talent. Before, he didn't have any talent. So you could say, well, how's he supposed to win with D-League players out there? Well, now it starts to tip the other way. We have Embiid, we have Simmons, we have Dario Saric. So why aren't you starting to see more production out of this? Why aren't we seeing more wins? It all comes down to that. It's all about what have you done for me lately in this league. It's with any professional sports. What have you done for me lately? And if you don't produce when you have capable talent on the team, you are going to be on the hot seat and you will be fired. And I think Brett is really on the edge of his seat only because he's still the last thing of the Hinkie regime. He's still that last piece of the Hinkie regime. This isn't a Brian Colangelo handpicked coach. So if stuff starts to go south and he starts to lose and we lose games like this, I definitely think he's on the hot seat to be booted. Even though this is like the real first year that he's had NBA caliber talent. He's really on the hot seat because Brian Colangelo wants to really wipe everything clean that is Hinkie or Hinkie had brought in. He got rid of Hinkie players other than Embiid. He's the only one that he's kept. Everybody else is gone if you've noticed. Whereas JJ Redick and Rocco don't make their threes. That's a killer too. If those guys aren't hitting their shots, we're screwed. And that's why you have to adjust. You have to make adjustment during games. It's where you got to go live in the paint. I'm telling you. We could have lived in the paint last night and destroyed the Lakers. Embiid and Ben Simmons could have done work down there on the block, and we would have had no problem at all. But they play in the opposition's hand by, trying to make one or two moves, and they pick up the ball. And then they pass it out, or Embiid takes a one-footed fadeaway, which drives me insane. Just back him down, get deep into the paint, and score. And why does nobody dunk? How many missed dunks did we see last night? I mean, it's pathetic. 5 years ago, you'd see people slamming it down, but I feel like it's soft when players just throw it up for a layup. It's horrible, and it stresses me out so much, it pisses me off. Just dunk the ball. That was a sure dunk that Ben missed. That was pathetic. It was just an overall sloppy game. Overall, very sloppy game. And again, give credit to the Lakers. They played great team defense. They played great team ball. They spread it around. They got production out of most of their players. They got over 40-some points off their bench to our 13. They had 13 steals versus our 3. We beat them in blocks, and they had 15 offensive rebounds. You cannot have that. You can't have that and win freaking games, let alone have 18 turnovers like we did to their 10. 10's about average for an NBA team to have turnovers, but 18 to 20, we're last in all those categories right there, and we foul a lot. We're the top team in fouls and fouling the opposition, and the top team in turnovers. You can't have that. You ain't gonna win basketball games doing that. Now, mind you, a lot of the bullshit calls, I don't know what's happening to the NFL and the NBA, but you can't do anything. You can't play defense in any sport anymore. I mean, you breathe on guys when you're getting a foul. And I don't like to blame the refs or use it as an excuse to why they lost. That's not. But it doesn't help when they're getting calls when guys are flopping and they're not calling it both ways. I think that's a load of shit. And I think the commissioner in the NBA really has to look into that, and so does the NFL. Because guys aren't really trying. All you got to do in football is kind of throw it up, and you're just waiting to see a PI penalty. That's 40 yards. Why even draw up a play? All you got to do is bomb it. And then in the NBA, all you got to do is gyrate your body or fall back when a guy doesn't even touch you and you get the flagrant foul call. They were looking at Ben when he was going after KCP on a dunk, where he went for the ball and he nicked the top of his head with his elbow, or his pinky, I think it was, and they were looking to call a flagrant on him. Like, are you kidding me, bro? There's been a lot of bullshit calls against the Sixers, but I'm not going to blame the refs on that. That is not why we lost. The refs have been horrible. They've gotten worse every year, in my opinion, but this is the worst I've seen them, to date. The same with the NFL. The NFL has cleaned it up a little bit, but they're just as bad. That Monday night game with Pittsburgh and the Bengals had over 250 yards and penalties. Like, that's why your ratings are down. People want to see physicality. We like that in sports, especially in football. But you want to see physicality in the NBA too. The 90s was where is that? 80s and 90s? God, dude, these players now wouldn't last in the freaking golden era. There's no way. Bunch of softies. Soft. But that's my rant. We lost to the Lakers 107-104. So they tied the series up. They took one here and we took one back in La La Land. Just disappointing overall. I'm very disappointed in my Sixers. I hope they clean it up because we got a tough schedule ahead of us. We've got Cleveland at Cleveland. We got to go down to New Orleans and play Boogie. They're starting to cook. They're really starting to play. We play Cleveland next. Cowboy X Factor. If you're laying down and freaking losing to the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns, how are you going to go into Cleveland and go into New Orleans and beat teams like that? I love always seeing a matchup when Boogie and Embiid go against each other. Two of the best bigs in the game, in my opinion. I don't know if Anthony Davis is going to be healthy for that game, but it's going to be a tough stretch. We're not home again until the 15th when we play OKC, and they're starting to play a little better. Yeah, I don't see us winning in Cleveland. Not after the way we've been playing. And when they were here, we kept it close for a little bit, and then they took off. But they've got the best player in the world. That's the thing the Sixers got to look into next year. You're going to try to recruit LeBron James? Can you bring him here? I don't know. I mean, we have a foundation finally, so we can lure in, top tier free agents. Whereas before, you just had to overpay guys to get them here. Hence, Amir Johnson, Jared Egghead Bayless, guys like that. I didn't really expect us to win 60 games this season, but better than we're playing now. If we keep continuing to play like this, dude, we're gonna win like 34 games, and I might even be embellishing a little bit with that. I might even be giving them a little credit. It might be even less than that, but still early. Just very, very disappointing. So, next game's against Cleveland, against the King, against the best player. Again, protege versus mentor. Ben Simmons going up against LeBron. I hope he has a better outing. I hope he doesn't get too stressed out. But also, I think it might be more on coaching now. Coaching has a lot to do with it, Cowboys X Factor. There's no real person to single out here. It's overall bad team play, and the coaching is definitely to blame, for sure. All right, guys, I got to get back to work. He is the best player. Our coach has to step it up. I want to see Ben just be more aggressive on the offensive end. He could take it to the 10 every time without him being stopped. And he just looks to pass. The whole team does. They're just too passive. They're always looking to make that extra pass, but it's hurting us because nobody's stepping up to make a shot. You know? Nobody wants to take the big shot. Nobody wants to be the guy to lead the team. And that's a huge knock on Ben Simmons. He's not really a leader. And he doesn't want... He's looking more to pass. That's not me, Cowboy X Factor. That's not the... I'm not Bitter Dingbats or the Bitter Birds. That's Adrian. I'm just associated and affiliated with the Bitter Birds. But I'll catch you guys on the fly. You know, hoping we can do a better job against Cleveland. Maybe we'll step up because we're playing a good team, playing probably the first or second best team in the whole East, and we're gonna have to get through them if we're gonna get to a championship. So you got to play these upper tier teams a lot better than we have been playing these freaking doormat teams. But that's my rant. Yeah, Sean, I know. Give him a chance. Brett Brown is at fault, but not entirely. All right, I got to get back to work, guys. This is Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. Sixers lost a heartbreaker. 107-104. Got to play better. Got to play better overall. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace.